That's dope. That's dope.
What is up, everybody? This is Scott Melker. It is Monday, February 22nd, and what an absolute epic day for Bitcoin. What started as a major bloodbath has bounced a bit, so going to try to dig in here and see what is actually happening. First, I have to ask you, thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, check everything out. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Hopefully you have noticed that I've been spending a lot of time making content for YouTube. All that content obviously is free. I hired somebody to help me do it. So we're making, a very regular, shorter video updates. I think a lot of the feedback that I had gotten was that the live streams are a lot of fun and they're good and people enjoy them. But honestly, who wants to look at my busted ass mug for like 70 to 90 minutes 3 times a week? Nobody. Have you seen this? It's terrible. I've been told my voice is bad. I drink coffee wrong. I chew on ice the wrong way. So honestly, man, throwing in that shorter content, I feel like it is a really nice compliment to what I'm doing here. So I'm going to keep doing the live streams, but also throwing those videos together because I just think it's a lot more palatable for people to, take a 5-minute look at something, understand what's happening, and then move on with their lives without so much of me in it. Once again, subscribe to the channel, hit like, and check out in the description below. You can subscribe to the Wolf Den newsletter. It's $15 a month, comes out 5 days a week. And for the last week now, they're offering it. Femex is still offering the $720 deposit bonus. Once again, I have to remind you, if you're going to use leverage, do it responsibly. They offer free spot trading. I would recommend that you start there or with extremely, extremely low leverage. And also, you can't get the $720 bonus, obviously, unless you deposit a lot of money. You get a smaller bonus if you deposit less. This is not a free money party. It is not raining money from the sky. This is not the United States United States government. They're not just printing money and spreading it around everywhere. So listen, my goal with today is obviously, you probably saw my Bitcoin video. If you didn't, I'm going to do a quick review on what I'm watching on Bitcoin. And then I want to dig into some of the more notable alts today. And see what's likely to happen with those and what we're looking at. So, yeah. So listen, it was a stressful day, right? Bitcoin was over like $58,500 just yesterday. Bottomed out where 46,700 today. It's like a 20% drop in a matter of hours. But we've seen this before. Come on, guys. This isn't our first rodeo, right? Right? You've been here, seen this? This shit happens all the time. No big deal. My question is, did we, like anyone who just panic sold, did you just like sell your bags directly to Michael Saylor? That's what I want to know. Because we know that people are buying. We know institutions are coming. If they want a few lower prices, let them have at it. You're holding, right? You didn't panic sell. Anyways, let's dig in. So first, I tried to pull up some extra data and things today in advance of doing this. And my friends at Into the Block, if you guys are part of the newsletter, you know that every Wednesday Into the Block does like an incredible on-chain analysis of something they choose. It's usually Bitcoin or Ethereum. Sometimes they take a look at DeFi. But there's a really interesting chart that I saw they tweeted earlier. This is on-chain flows, inflow to exchanges, right? So this is aggregated exchanges. It's all of them. Now, listen, we've seen some huge days and these, where a lot of Bitcoin is going from cold storage onto exchanges. So what's interesting is that yesterday we saw an uptick, 59,097 Bitcoin, 59,970 Bitcoin or so were moved onto exchanges from cold storage. But what was most notable about that was about mid 30,000. I don't remember the exact number, was moved on to Gemini specifically. When you see a huge amount of Bitcoin moved on to a single exchange, there's really no other good reason except that someone is looking to sell. People don't just like randomly wake up in the morning and say, you know what? This $1.8 billion in Bitcoin is burning a hole in my pocket. I really got to get this shit onto an exchange where it's less safe. just to hold it there. Not what happened, right? So I was not paying attention to this yesterday. I saw this today in retrospect, but really seems very compelling that every time you see these huge spikes and inflows into exchanges, there's only one good reason to send a whole lot of Bitcoin to an exchange, and that's to sell. So that's really compelling if you take a look at that. And you can dig into their tools all over the place, but this is one I really like. It's called on-chain flows, and yet again they tweeted this today, which is how I caught it. I wasn't paying good enough attention. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart really quick. This is a very quick review, largely of what I discussed earlier in my other video, but most of you probably didn't see it. So what are we looking at here? The weekly chart. Okay. Let's dig into this because, first of all, this candle is not even 1 day old of the week, and you cannot analyze a candle till it's closed or very, very close. So this is somewhat irrelevant right now, right? But what we had here, if you look at this entire path up, I mean, there's not been that many red, in my case, blue candles, right? It's been a pretty steady onslaught. So here you had 1, 2, 3, 4 very, very bullish candles, and then we finally consolidated, right? But this was that big bull flag. If you drill in on the daily, which we will in a minute, we had a bull flag that was right here, right? And then a breakout. So we had these tweezer bottoms here, this kind of indecisive, almost a doji, but more of a spinning top because it has a body and it's not just a line. And then 3 massively bullish candles here. These are massively bullish candles, and we just closed one of them yesterday, right? Especially this one because it has a tiny wick on top. It almost closed all the way at the top at the highest point the price was trading at the entire week. It's very bullish, very bullish. There's candles called Morbozus that if it has no wick on the bottom or the top and it's just one solid bar, it's considered very bullish or bearish depending on if it's red or green. This is not one of those. It has wicks at the bottom and a slight wick at the top. But the closer that you close to the session high, obviously, the more bullish it is, because that means that at no point during that candle was there a heavy rejection. So yeah, we see this today, but it's kind of irrelevant. Let's go into the daily. I mean, I've shared this bull flag so many times. And this was the first Elon Musk when he changed his profile to #Bitcoin, and the world went bananas. Oh my God, what does it mean? There's Bitcoins, and Musk and Teslas are going to drive based on Bitcoin power, and we're going to repower the whole world with Bitcoin electricity to drive our car. No, right? So everybody freaked out. Who cares? Whatever. Bounced off the EQ. This, we broke here, and this is when Tesla bought. Finally breaking through 42,000. We'd been consolidating under that for weeks, right? Cool. On the way up. Great. Retested, going up. So I didn't have any of these lines. I actually drew them this morning. But this move, based on the length of this flagpole, had a target of 63,000. We didn't get there yet. Maybe we don't, right? I mean, getting to 58,000 is a pretty big move out of a bull flag, but I still anticipate getting there and going higher. So we had these two support levels. What's interesting is it broke, but is presently trading above both. It would be really awesome to see the daily close above both of those. To me, that would be very bullish. We've got increasing volume here, but it's red, blue in my case, right? But nothing is scaring me on the daily chart. I mean, I love this big wick for now, and we're going to see retraces. The thing is, like, Bitcoin tends to take the stairs up, and bears tend to take the elevator down, right? There's nothing new here. We see slow grinding moves up, and then these epic dumps that get bought up, right? 4-hour supply and demand here. Supply, this is the last up candle, right? This is the top. Price moved away violently. That means that there's leftover sellers here. This will likely be resistance. You could draw one right here too off this candle. Demand. Price exited quickly up. You could draw one here as well, which would be interesting because even though it's pierced, it's exactly where this present candle is, right? I could just see it by eyeballing it, right? Price exits up. There's leftover buying here. That creates support. At the end of the day, support and resistance are just buy orders and sell orders that are sitting there, right? Buy wall, sell wall, whatever. You get the idea. So when you look at the 4-hour in this perspective, it pierced both heavy buy orders and this huge move up. I mean, this candle is insane. If you drill into the 1 hour, when you get into the 1 hour, it's green volume. Not only that, this candle body ended up bullishly engulfing the candle body before. It's really absurd. Now, on a percentage basis, maybe not. I don't know, but we've certainly never seen a $7,000 hourly candle before on Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin was trading at $7,000 for like around that area for most of the last couple of years. And now we're seeing candles in 1 hour of that size. It's so mind-boggling when you like drill in and think about it. Nuts. And look, then volume dropped and we're seeing like a slight increase in volume now of buying, another bullish engulfing candle on this candle. Bullish engulfing means that it's the bullish candle, the entire bearish candle fits within the body of the bullish candle. I mean, right now we want to see a flip. Really, you get more bullish on a flip above 5,400, right? We're still trading below that. And like this, it's funny. Talk about being wrong all the time. Although I wasn't convinced. This is when I sent the newsletter because I did it at like 6 o'clock this morning. I said, hey, this is a pretty bullish candle. None of this existed. So we saw increasing volume here. And I was like, hey, that's bullish volume, right? Green and a nice bullish pin bar. Or you can call it a dragonfly, hammer, long-legged doji. Depends. People argue depending on the size of the body and where it closed. But it was and it breached here with a slight bullish SFP, found liquidity and headed up. Then the real volume kicked in, right? Then it got really aggressive. But I said, if it loses this line, that's kind of your short, if you're a shorter. And as you can see, I just draw it. Let me use this. As you can see here, it tested it perfectly as resistance, right? Broke it, tested it down. Now it's breakthrough. So you really want to see that getting back above here. In my opinion, much more will be much more convincing. Now, interestingly, I drew this and it didn't happen. You guys probably saw it in the video. It was here, and I said, "Hey, I want to see this come down slightly lower." I was looking for this to close a little bit below this line, so that we could potentially get a bullish divergence. Now we actually have a slight hidden bearish divergence, potentially a higher high on RSI and a lower high on price. But this could still happen. Ultimately, I would love. Yeah, it requires a little more of a drop, but I would love to see, something like yark. I'm having drawing problems. I like when they're blue. Red is so jarring. I talked about this earlier. I don't even want that blue. I'm particular. Sorry. So I would like to see this drop down below here. So one of these now comes down to here and heads up. And then this kind of does this and heads up. And then we have this bullish divergence. That would be super sweet. Doesn't mean we need it to reverse, but it would be pretty compelling in my humble opinion. Okay, that is my view generally of Bitcoin at the moment. I'm going to come back to the comments for a second because I know you guys are typing away. I have no idea what you're saying. Actually, two more things. Bitcoin flash crash leads to $4 billion liquidated across exchanges. That's a lot of money, right? Somebody knew that longs were paying extremely high funding to be long. It was expensive to be long. They were over leveraged. So what do? You short and you cause a cascade. Every single time it gets liquidated, it sends the order book lower, cascading liquidations. That's how this works. If you're in a market and you're over leveraged and everybody is long, it's a really easy opportunity for someone with a whole lot of money to go short, make a ton of money, buy again at the bottom. Right? Somebody literally could have started selling at 58, been selling down, triggered all the liquidations, and then bought again at 47, 48, 20% increase in their stack. Very easy. So 4 billion worth of crypto assets liquidated from exchanges in that same amount of time, just a few hours. And then I just think this is funny. Janet Yellen critiques Bitcoin is extremely inefficient for making transactions. A, no shit, Sherlock. Nobody's saying that it's like the fastest or the most efficient. But B, shut up, Janet Yellen. We're really sick of your FUD and nonsense. Cool. All right, we're going to do Ethereum next, but I'm just coming over here really quick. Everybody's talking about F2 pool. Sure. Yeah, if you got liquidated, people are saying rip to those accounts that got liquidated. If you got liquidated, you're over leveraged. I mean, listen, I lost on paper more money I've ever lost in a day in my entire life just because my portfolio is bigger. But it'll go back up. I think it's fine. I didn't get liquidated. My positions are still open. Right? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Just another day, right? Just another day. Someone's saying that the bull div is actually there on the 1 hour Bitcoin perp on FTX. Yeah, that's the funny thing about trading Bitcoin on multiple exchanges is you never know what you're going to get when you look at a different one, you know? Well, we can talk about this. Look, I'm going to go into Ethereum right now, but Ethereum flash crashes on Kraken, recovers $1,000 an hour. Ethereum hits $700 today on Kraken. That's why, honestly, I have nothing against Kraken. I just haven't traded there, even though it's okay for Americans, because they've always had these huge wicks that just liquidate the shit out of people. Just not for me. You could have bought Ethereum at $700 on Kraken today. But like I said, if you're talking about different exchanges doing different crazy things, well, that didn't happen anywhere else. But if you happen to be on Kraken, happy birthday, $700 Ethereum today. Look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. So this is really disappointing. This massive inverse head and shoulders has just been slayed. I still am looking for that eventually to happen, but it clearly lost the support, right? This was like for years, started here. So August of 18, massive inverse head and shoulders. Everything made sense. Even the volume on the exit was increasing, and then absolute rejection. Listen, guys, charts don't tell you the future. They give you a good idea. I was wrong. So was the chart, right? I don't make up the rules. It's how you do it. Let's go into the daily. You know, we saw that the range broke here. Unfortunately, I was saying, you know, hey, if you close back in the range, it should be heading back up. Didn't. Basically, Ethereum Bitcoin pair has been trolling everybody endlessly. I mean, we all want Ethereum to be bullish. Just hasn't really looked that way. And any movement that it's made up on the USD pair is because, like, it's the armless and legless little brother of Bitcoin, and he's got him in a sack thrown over his back, and he's just carrying him up the hill because Ethereum has just been complete crap if you look at it on the Bitcoin pair here. And that's the thing about trading alts against USD versus against Bitcoin. You see it's, $2,000 Ethereum. It's amazing. It's getting crushed by Bitcoin if you care about stacking sats. It's the reality. It's the reality. I mean, this is what, 46 down to 32. Big drop. It's a big drop. It's a big drop. So, you know, and it's breaking more support. It's still pushing down. Ultimately, I've drew this before. This is where I think we're probably headed, because this is not, this is theoretically a support zone, but this is actual demand, right? This was a supply zone that was broken to the upside, so it's less relevant. This is where I think on the daily, we're likely to land if it continues down, something like this, and then hopefully head back up, right? Cool. I haven't even looked at the 4 hour, but my God. I would say if you're trying to figure out a way to trade this, then you just draw one line, put an alarm on it. This is going to give me this weird thing about setting alerts on a logarithmic chart, shut it, and then head up, right? But now you've got resistance here, you've got resistance here, you've got resistance here, and theoretically you have support in these two areas. This will probably line up with that other one, but, and then here, where we are now. So you could see a bounce here, sitting right on top of that, right? So it should be drawn off this down candle, actually. It just tripping. Speaking of Ethereum, I'm going to have to cut this a little short today because I'm psyched. I'm interviewing Camila Russo, who's like the boss of all things Ethereum, today at 3:00 for the podcast. Really excited about that. All right, so that's my view on Ethereum, Bitcoin there. Hard to be excited. Ethereum USD, well, I identified this in the live streams last week, the 1400 area. I'm not saying we're going to get it, but damn, we came close, 1487. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's the front run. But this is that former all-time high. You would expect for it, you know, more times than not, a level that important is retested as support. Bitcoin didn't do it at 20, just shot through. Doesn't have to happen, but you cannot be surprised if you saw this, you know? So it almost did it. We got to here. It's pretty good. $80 above or so, almost 78. Are you not entertained? I haven't even looked at this on lower time frames because what's the point? Still retain. Honestly, I drew this ages ago. It's still retaining this structure up to higher highs and higher lows the whole way. Still not making any lower lows. So this is all still completely bullish market structure. I don't see anything to be scared about on this. I just pulled up kind of the majors, to take a look at. I haven't looked at them really. Link versus Bitcoin had this macro breakout. Looked like it was going well, and then steaming butthole. But it's bouncing a little bit, honestly, not so bad. And let me see, this could be interesting. No, not quite, but hell, that's a really nice place for it to bounce, right? People are going to start screaming double bottom, but if you follow me, it's not a double bottom until it breaks this level. If you have a double bottom or a potential double bottom, you have to break the swing high between the two bottoms for it to confirm. So if you're trading this as a double bottom or want to, this is the depth, and this would be the target of the pattern, just for educational purposes, because it's not a double bottom yet. But if this line breaks, you look for a move up to there, right? This is a nice candle. It's bouncing nicely. Actually, it's not too epically bad. It was already in a downtrend for the past few days, so what's new? And ultimately, we want to see it hold above this area. This 0.004872, whatever that is. It's interesting as you could draw this entire thing sort of. It's not ideal, but you could pull this whole thing as a range, right? And you see that we're at the range low, so it should at least, if that holds, you should at least be targeting here. And then if that holds, you start looking up to the top of the range. So you look for one of these kind of things. Man, I draw poorly. I'm not a good drawinger. But you can see the EQ of this range, right? This dashed line is an automatic thing. It's the 50% between any range you pull. If you pull a channel up, pull a channel down, ascending, descending, whatever, you have that 50%. And if you see it acting this strong, it's a good channel. Price loves to travel in channels. Look at that. So much price action around here. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles interacted with it as resistance right after it broke support. It's a good channel. So ultimately, you don't want to hear this if you're a linker, but this is your entry. You want to take out those range highs and then buy the retest and head up. Nobody ever wants to hear that, hey, you might have to wait like a very long time to get your bullish confirmation. I'm not saying this is a bad, this is a nice, like if you're the type of person who likes to catch a falling knife, try to buy at support, you put your stops like down here or something. This is a beautiful place to buy, because it's got great, even if you think it's going down, it doesn't matter. The goal of trading is to lose as little as possible on a trade. So you can just put a stop here and your risk reward of going to the top of the range is exceptional, right? Let me back those up. But like if you were taking a long and you had set your bids here, right? So you put your stop here and your target is simply the range highs without even breaking out. You have a 13.63 risk reward ratio. That's really good. If you're a poker player, you push your chips in on that every single time. Even if you think you're going to lose, hell, you can lower your stops a little bit. Even if you think like you're almost guaranteed to lose, if you think that there's in this case, 9.91 better chance that you win than you lose, you take that trade. Hot odds. Link USD. No, if you had stink bids on this, happy birthday, $24.8-ish link. This was the key demand. It's pierced, but in my mind, that held. It's just not, this is not going to be support anymore because all the orders that were likely sitting in there have been removed, right? But you have this same sort of incredibly long wick candle, which is generally bullish. And now you have another long-legged doji potentially with 34 minutes left in the candle. Body, that looks pretty good. Yeah, hard to get excited, but and you could definitely, based on these candles, you could draw support here. It'd be really nice if that closed above that, head up. But there's levels I don't like. I don't care about this level anymore. This matters. Well, let's pull this as a range, right? Just for shits and giggles, right? Broke the range lows, rejected right at the EQ, basically, slightly below by a few cents. Perfect support, perfect support, perfect support and break. It's great range, right? And this is just a slight anomaly. They're not SFPs because they closed above and opened above and closed above, but really close, really struggled at the range high. That's what matters there to me. So that's my view generally on Link here. I'm coming back to the comments for a second. Like I said, I got a cruise today because I've got this podcast after. Sam Coin's going nuts. I haven't looked, but no surprises there. Sorry, I'm just trying to go through the so I'm back through here. Yes, he told you what he was going to talk about. Doesn't even see your comments right now. He's right. I'm looking at the screen. I'm not seeing your guys' comments, and I told you exactly what coins I'm going to look at. But you're just going to go ahead and you're going to go spam that chat. Look at GRT, bro. What about ADA? What about EOS? What about my coin? Why don't you care about my coin? My coin is the only coin that should matter to you, Scott. Is there another coin in the world except for hashtag I love? Guys, nobody gives a shit about your crappy coin. Even if you have an awesome coin, you have your community. Go talk to them. Phone a friend. Call someone in the community and say, I'm deeply want to talk to you about specific coin. Because I want to help you guys, but also I don't care about 9,000 coins that you have probably spammed this with that I'm not looking at. Let's talk about Litecoin. Litecoin, talk about something I don't give a shit about. Charlie Lee dumped on y'all, though, right at the top. He gotcha. Man, there are people that were still bullish on Litecoin even after the person who invented Litecoin told the entire world publicly that he sold all his Litecoin. Never change, humans. Never change. That said, yeah, yet again, people were talking about a double bottom. So I said, hey, don't even look at it till it breaks the red line. Cool, right? Who cares? Anyways, I think anything above this 0.003633333333 with a thing over it, so you know that's a lot of threes, is fine. You zoom in a little bit, break, and presently being rejected, actually. See that? So you want to see this 4-hour close above that line, or else you expect to do what I showed you on Bitcoin, where it breaks support, hits resistance, and heads down. That's a lot of selling too. This didn't work out, did it? Nope. Scott, I lost all my money because you drew a squiggly line on a chart, and every time you draw a squiggly line, I expect that you know how to tell the future, and I buy stuff, and then I don't put a stop loss because I expect you to call me at home and update me on what you've done with the trade. Oh, by the way, you didn't even take the trade. You just were drawing on a chart and said that you didn't buy it yourself. Nobody is responsible for your shitty trades except for you. Yeah, man, Litecoin above this line seems fine. If you're trading it really tight, I think you want to be back above this line, which it presently is. I don't know, but like, why? I don't care about Litecoin. I will say, like, hey, if Bitcoin goes and then finally chills out and then we see Ethereum go, then we should see Litecoin go, because we have to do exactly what we did in 2017, 2018. That's sarcasm. We don't have to do it exactly, but nobody would be surprised if we saw that happen. Let's look at Litecoin USD. That's more interesting. We did have the double bottom, and this was the target at 273, 246. Didn't quite get there, but this was confirmed at this purple line. But what's interesting is that this is holding support here at 185,750. That's where you put bids. If you missed this move, this is where you would have put bids, $185,750. Actually, you would put them at like 187, 188, so you don't get front run. In this case, it pierced, but you don't want to put it right on a line. Lines are just areas. They're not like perfectionists stuck at trading because they're like, I'm going to buy it at exactly that. And if I don't get it to that penny, I am not buying it. Does it really matter if you bought it $1 ahead just to make sure? No, you're not going to listen. You're going to do it anyways. You're going to do it anyways. Anyways, yeah, this should still come up here, probably. Listen, as long as you're holding above here on the USD pair, this seems totally fine to me. Totally fine. Totally fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't even see anything worth looking at on lower time frames. Zoom out, y'all. That's the weekly. You just got your retest. Happy birthday. If it goes below, then have fun staying poor. Doge. Okay, guys, I want to show you something. This is the weekly Doge chart. Does it look any different than any of the other cycles when you look at it now, except for that it's actually selling off harder? I said this from the first day. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what Doge does. Doge is the greatest coin of all time for one simple reason. It's the easiest way to stack Bitcoin. All you do with Doge is you come down here and you repeatedly set bids in this area. You just buy all over it, right? Ooh, look at my buy orders. So many. My orders are so big. You buy between like, I don't know, 39 sats and 15, and then you wait. And then eventually it does this. Every time. There's never been a time in history. This one took a really long time. Yes, this one went higher because Elon Musk tweeted. So we saw a push to 232 instead of 188, which was the previous high. But this is not the future of finance. It's not going to $10, probably. I have to hedge because not financial advice, and I wouldn't want to be the guy who told you that. But like, come on. It's a Shiba Inu. And so, look. Dumping. And what's more compelling, let's look at the daily. All the volume was those 2 days. This has no volume. Nobody cares anymore. You're like talking, you're thinking that everybody's in on it. It happened. No volume. Completely died. There was more volume here before all of that happened than there is now. So, I don't know. You trade Doge on the Bitcoin pair because the point of Doge is to get Bitcoin. I'd never even heard, before Bitcoin finally got high enough this time to talk about Doge, it was like, maybe it'll get to a penny. Well, it's fine here, I guess. It's ranging. It broke out down from here, broke support. Right now it's just ranging. But like, why are you trading Doge on the dollar pair? So yeah, here's your range. You're in the bottom half. Nice move off it, maybe. But like, it's over, guys. I'm not saying Doge won't go up again. I don't know what it's going to do, but like, this was all the volume. It happened. Nobody cares except for Doge Master 4793 on Twitter, who is telling me how this is the future of money and it's going to be the currency of Mars. Elon talking about forking Doge. I didn't see him talking about it. I just literally saw him change his profile picture to a fork in the street, and people are saying that means he's talking about forking Doge because they're gripping at straws and want any excuse to talk about shit they're losing money on. Oh, Doge. I love Doge. I love it. It's literally my favorite coin in history to trade, but because of the predictable cycles, not because I ever think it's going higher than this. And you guys can be mad. I understand. I get it. But I was saying this here too. So shut the front door. Ripple. I don't usually look at ripples. A lot of you asked about it. And there was actually news today. Ripple has proof the SEC failed to warn exchanges about XRP's security status. So Ripple is trying to get the case thrown out, saying that the SEC didn't tell exchanges that they couldn't list Ripple, basically. And so it's their fault. Maybe that's valid. I don't know. Doesn't mean that Ripple is not dumping on you, because they are. All right. I guess the SEC just didn't warn exchanges of the security, that it could be viewed as a security. But that doesn't mean that every time Ripple goes up, Brad isn't literally like, you can see it on-chain analysis. Every time Ripple goes up, a whole shit ton of XRP coins go from Ripple to exchanges and they sell. Why do you want to be a part of that? Maybe it's going to go way up. I don't know. But like, you can see it. It's happened for years. Why would you support a coin or be passionate about something where the people that you're supporting are literally selling into your buy orders aggressively at all times? But maybe this news is good. This is one of the few coins that did not drop against Bitcoin today. Right? Cool. And it's flipping this to support. For me, if I'm just like trading this blindly and I can somehow get past the fact that it's Ripple, I wouldn't look at it until it breaks this line. But if you're a knife catcher, this is a good spot. But that line for me is the line that matters. Let's look at it on the USD pair. I haven't even looked at it. I don't know where these lines are coming from. Wow, these are old lines and they're really good. Yet again, catching support here, beautiful. So this should be theoretically targeting 79 cents from here if it can continue up. But if we were zooming in, you probably have a little bull flag here. I mean, when I choose what to trade, I tend to choose the thing where somebody isn't interested in selling every single time the price goes up. That's just me. Call me, conservative or boomer or old. But hey, I like to trade things where somebody's not actively trying to make me lose all my money all the time. Something like this. I don't know, like that. If you had drawn it off here, you have a little better. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Broke down below, but it's going above. So if you're zooming in here on the 4-hour like this, it's already been rejected here. So I wouldn't want to trade it below that. So I would be looking for this. Retest up. Boom. BNB. BNB. BNB, aka the coin that gives literally zero shits about what Bitcoin is doing. No F's given. I could say fucks. I don't know why. Somebody got very upset with me for cursing the other day on here. Questioned my Christian values. Yeah, I mean, this is the previous all-time high, right? And we're consolidating around it and presently holding it, even with what Bitcoin's done. You can't be bearish on that. So if you zoom in, I would say that this is your key. Like, we're in price discovery still here. So I would say that this is your, objectively you would draw it there because this candle was first, but like, you want to be a little more forgiving. You got this little bull pennant happening. Break above. Now listen, pennants often become flags and do this, right? They break support here and everyone goes, oh my God, it's bearish now. And then it just forms a channel. It comes down here and breaks to the upside. So I don't even bother drawing the bottom generally because it can, lead to some confusion. But yeah, I think that that generally looks bullish, but if you want confirmation, you wait for a break of that. You're very happy that it's presently holding that high. And this is your next demand zone. And you obviously have, if you're looking for where there would be resistance, it's going to be right up here. Right? BNB, BTC. You don't want to mess with me. And I did a short video on this Friday, by the way. This is all likely a result of Pancake Swap is kind of crushing Uniswap right now. Everybody's really bullish on Binance. Smart Chain, they're really competing, in the DeFi space with Ethereum, and price is showing it. And if you want to be a validator on the Binance Smart Chain, then you need to stake BNB, which obviously removes coins from the market. BNB is one of the few that's actually deflationary because Binance burns the coin. So it's not inflationary. They're not like printing a whole bunch more. And also, just like you pay gas fees in Ethereum on Uniswap or any of those, you pay gas fees or the equivalent in. I can't get past the name Pancake Swap. Pancake Swap. So there's a lot of reason for people to buy BNB while it's being removed from the market. Therefore, bullish. I don't even know where to look for lines here. Right? But this also looks like it's consolidating bullishly. No big deal. Right? Back to Bitcoin over here. And I'm going to come back to the chat and try to knock this out for a few minutes. People are over here calling each other idiots. Yeah, ETH gas fees are ludicrous. Ethereum 2.0 has to fix this. That to me, this is like the core of what I'm trying to discuss. with Camilla Russo today. I want to ask her how Ethereum 2.0 fixes that, get a better understanding. I don't hate Litecoin, dude. I'm kidding. I don't hate Litecoin at all. I traded. I'm just, this is a hyperbole. I'm having fun here. But yes, you don't need to worry about them selling, so there shouldn't be quite as much supply. I prefer pancakes, but I like that waffles are lighter and kind of less calories. So if I'm going to have like a chocolate chip pancake, I know that I'm going to pay for it for like 3 weeks, but I can have a chocolate chip waffle and pay for it for a week and a half. So that seems reasonable. I don't know. Now I'm just randomly hitting things. Yes, I talk about this all the time. I don't have a video on it per se, but yeah, I think that the USD pairs are very misleading because in a market that's run based on Bitcoin and is so dramatically affected by every Bitcoin move, the goal is to stack more Bitcoin. So sometimes you see the USD pair going up, like I talked about with Ethereum earlier, and you're like, okay, great, I'm making money, but you are losing Bitcoin and you're losing a lot of it. Right? Because Ethereum is getting crushed by Bitcoin. So to me, the mentality in this market, which is harder now for me, even because I can't trade on a lot of the places where we have Bitcoin pairs. But for me, like, why would I trade against USD and put in all this effort when I could literally sit in Bitcoin and make more money? And that's what would have happened. If you were just in Bitcoin, you make more money if you trade based on Bitcoin pairs. If you trade on the USD pairs, you might secretly be losing Bitcoin or not maximizing your USD gain by trading that. Right? Someone said dollar index. I'll look at that because I've been talking about that and I'm like the biggest dollar bear in the world and it's been working. Look at that. This is what I drew last week on the stream. So first of all, and why does the dollar index matter? Because when the dollar goes down, everything else goes up. Not in this case, Bitcoin today, but generally metals, stocks, everything. The more money's printing, the more the dollar is devalued, the more assets go up based on that. We had this monthly channel. I've talked about it forever. I have been bearish on this for a year. I've said, this is it for the dollar. And when it broke here, everyone got bullish here. They weren't looking at this channel. Look at this big candle. I said that was a retest of support as resistance, and we go down. The other day, I said we had a bear flag. We would break down from it. Probably we did. And then we had this gap up and move up. I drew this gap, said we'll fill that gap and probably come back down. And now we're breaking support and coming lower. The dollar shouldn't go up if they are printing them endlessly. Right? Yeah, it didn't. The dollar is such a wuss that it couldn't even get up here to test it as resistance. It sniffed it and got scared and fell down. The dollar is the guy that you want directly ahead of you if you like get into one of those like 1960s West Side Story street brawls. There's like all these badass dudes like Bitcoin and silver and gold, and standing in front of you is the dollar, who's like someone's like little confused simple cousin who doesn't even have a weapon. This is the guy you want to fight. Man, thoughts on Cardano? No, I don't have one. That is correct. I am a board certified samurai. I took a course for samuraiing. I never used Finex. Do you ever consider making a tutorial? I will eventually make one. There's a lot of them out there from like my good friends. Like I know, I think Karush has one. I think Cantor and Clark probably has one. I will eventually make one, but it's a lot of work and I do enough work. I don't yield farm, dude. I'm sure it's amazing, but like I just plant my corns on Voyager and BlockFi and stuff, and I let them do that. Where my corn? Polka Starter by the dip. I have not even looked at the Polka Starter chart, but I remain bullish on Polka Starter. So I guess how much will ETH fall? Wait, I forgot. I've got my trusty crystal baseball. And it says, I have no fucking idea what's going to happen. I'm sorry. I can't tell the future, guys. Don't go on the internet. And I'm not targeting you specifically. Don't go on the internet and ask people what's going to happen with price. They have no idea. And if they tell you, run. Run. If someone tells you for sure what is going to happen with price in the future, they are probably a scammer or trying to sell you something. What's corn? Bitcoin. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on Altcoin. It's like not on anyone's radar. Doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, I have a podcast to go record. I'm really excited to talk to Camila Russo today. I think it's going to be epic. I have some amazing podcasts coming up. Really, podcasting is the best job, I think, in the whole world, because I can call anyone who wouldn't have talked to me before and they'll spend an hour just answering my questions. It's like free college with better professors than you would actually have in school. Truly amazing. So guys, listen, I'm going to be back here for sure on Wednesday, 2 p.m., same time, doing chart requests for my newsletter subscribers. If you need to request a chart, then just subscribe. It's $15 a month for 5 days a week. I work my ass off on the newsletter. Anyone who here is a member can attest to that. And I intend to make a lot more of these short videos. I got up at 4:45 this morning to write the newsletter, record a video, have 3 calls, do this live stream, get ready for my podcast. That's what I'm doing here. You know, like people can talk, I don't know, whatever. Like I'm working my ass off, and all of it is to provide like as much good content as I can. And, you know, I know that that's appreciated by many of you, and there's a lot of people doing it. I love it. I absolutely enjoy it. But hey, man, yeah, I'm not a good sleeper. I know sleep, healthy, whatever. I'm more like the Nas New York State of Mind. I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. No, I just go to bed kind of early, you know, but whatever, man. We're working. And now I'm going to go record a podcast, and then I'm going to do another video probably tonight. So that's the gist of what we got going on here, guys. Love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Peace out.